Hey, welcome to a new video where I want to show you someone who I call the king of cross posts. His name is Matt Gray, and what he's done so effectively is create a huge Twitter presence of over 100,000 people, and then he's created incredible content there that he's been able to share to his LinkedIn community, which also has more than 100,000 people following him. And so I call him the king of cross posts because what he's done effectively is use content from one platform that's done very well and then cross post it to another one where it will have the same type of engagement. So it's something I want to show you right now by looking at his content, and my hope by the end is that you'll be convinced that creating content in one place that does well is good, but then taking that content elsewhere is really great. It's a fantastic strategy. So without any more time, let's go look at his content and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Alright, so let's take a look at his content, but before we look at his LinkedIn page, I'm going to show you his Twitter page and what he's done here. So you can see here he has 135,000 followers, and he's the founder of Herb as well as founder OS. So he's built this really big business that focuses on marijuana, and you can go read all about that on his profile. But then off the back of that, because he's built an incredible business, he started a second one called Founder OS that helps entrepreneurs and anyone learn how to scale. So I encourage you to go check that out afterwards. But what you can see here is that I've installed an add-on in Chrome called Twemex right here at the top. And what it does is that it takes all his tweets and it ranks it according to the most engagement. So you can see as I scroll down here, you'll see the type of engagement his best tweets have got. And from this, I can see, at the very top here, the best tweet he's ever made was, 9 October 2022, and it says the 10 best marketing ads of all time. And then I can click this tweet and you'll see a lot more of what he does in terms of this one, where he's just going through different marketing examples. But that's not what I'm trying to show you here. What I'm trying to show you is that he's found a really good tweet that is done very well. And then if I go to his LinkedIn page, you'll see that 4 days ago from when this was recorded in November, that he's released this tweet in almost a carousel-like format for anyone to view on LinkedIn. And you'll see the type of engagement here is really, really good. And he's kept in the Twitter engagement as almost a social proof that whatever you're going to do here, you're going to invest in it after you've read this hook at the very, very top. And so that's a first example I want to show you of cross-posting. And that's why he's the king of it. He's found something that done incredibly well on Twitter, and then he's taken that just a month later and he's gone and posted it onto LinkedIn in a carousel format. You can see that he's applied a bit of a filter here to make it more interesting to see visually, but it's the same type of format where you can click through and you'll be able to see all the different posts that he's made here. So it's the same exact thread that was there in Twitter. I've gone through that one as well. And so the purpose here is to show you that once you found in really good content and it's performed well, the likelihood of it performing well elsewhere is very, very high. And that's just because of how audiences react. And every platform is different to some extent, but really the crux of the story here is that if you find something that does well, you should post it elsewhere, especially if you're trying to build an audience. And Twitter and LinkedIn are the best places to start, but it doesn't really end there. I think you could take this and you could post it onto Instagram, onto Facebook. You could even probably make some TikToks about this, who knows. But that's really what I wanted to show you with this one. The second post I want to show you is a tweet that Matt made that he's gone and posted here onto his LinkedIn. You can see that on Twitter it did about 1,664 likes, but on LinkedIn it's done incredibly well as well. And so this one is a singular tweet. It shows exactly the type of format that I would use on LinkedIn, where you have this hook. And you can see in his post as well, he's just repeated this hook, because then once you read on, you'll just skip that and go here. And he's followed a list format, And so it's very easy to read. It's a tweet, so it's quite authoritative because it shows you the social proof already. Because remember, the tweets already performed well. So when you're posting it onto LinkedIn, it's starting at net zero. There's no tweet, there's no likes, there's no engagement, no comments. And so it gives you a bit of social proof, especially when it's done very well. If you don't have this type of engagement on Twitter, then you can easily just post this section without any of the analytics or how well it's done. But this is a good example, once again, that you can take one tweet without making a carousel and just post the image. The last post I want to show you is a life lesson type tweet where, Matt has posted about, things he wish he knew when he was at 21 years old. And so if I go through this, you'll see that it's very much general type of advice. And why I want to show this to you is because if you think about the business that Matt has made, he really has two. It's the marijuana one, which can appeal to anyone and everyone. It's more of a lifestyle type business. And then secondly, he has a founder OS business, which is about helping creators grow their audience. And so if you think about it from a content strategy perspective, really what you're wanting to do from a content pillar is that you want some general type content, and then you want some specialized type content. So you can see this marketing one is really about, generalist type content that appeals to anyone and everyone. It's very interesting. It applies to anyone. It's about quite humorous as well. This last post as well, this is very much general life advice, but it relates to life. But then in the middle, this post that I showed you, this is really only related to founders and those that are creating or growing their business by writing online and trying to amass an audience of some kind. And so you can see the strategy there is to have two types of content, one that is more generalized and one that is specialized. And those two will bring in your ideal audience for both of the businesses that Matt is running. And so they quite complement each other because those that are going to follow might want to also build a business, and those that are building a business might be interested in his marijuana products. So that's in essence what I wanted to show you with these tweets and how he's been able to cross-post. So in summary, what we've seen here is that Matt has effectively been able to cross-post from one platform to another. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to take content that is performed on one platform and move it to another one to find the same type of engagement, the same type of audience. Remember, not everyone you're looking for that's your ideal customer will be in one place. And so the strategy here is to find those people in all the various places with the same type of content that will perform well. And of course, each platform has its own variety of engagement and style of posting and content strategy. So it'll be a bit more nuanced than that. You don't want to just duplicate your efforts across the entire different social media platforms, but it does give an insight into a strategy that does work. And it's very obvious from Matt's engagement and the types of audience he's built and the engagement he's received that it is a great way to grow your audience online. So if there's anything you're going to do, it's going to be this. It's going to write content on one platform until you found your audience, until you found that content does well. And then you're going to take that, in whether it's an image format or a video format or just copying and pasting it into a brand new social media platform to grow your audience there. And the idea here is that you're trying to create a funnel of people, you're trying to get those clicks, you want to get traffic to your website, and ultimately you want customers at the end of the day. So that's content strategy for you right there. It's a good sales approach as well. You want to make sure your net is as far as wide as possible so that you can catch those fish which will become your customers. And so you want to be very creative with your approach and just take a bit of initiative to see what works. And of course, this isn't the golden way to do it. There's going to be a variety of different strategies, but when it comes to starting out and seeing what works, I think this is a great place to start. So that's the content for today. I encourage you to go check out what Matt does, go check out Herb, and go check out Founder OS. I think it's going to be really interesting for you just to analyze from a more deeper level outside of this video. But other than that, have an incredible one. Cheers.